Hi, this is Makona Spokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. Today, I want to deal with part one of this topic that we're starting today, tips for being happy in life as a young man. Tips for you to be happy always in life as a young man. And this is part one of this great topic, and I want to just give you some few tips because many of us are desperate about being happy, but happiness eludes us, and most of us have been looking for happiness, but we cannot find it. But today I want to just give you some tips and follow us, please, as we deal with this topic. Some tips of how you can remain happy at all times as a young man. The first thing that would keep you happy is when you see the value of never hating. So never hate anybody. It's not an easy thing, I know that, but I need to emphasize that many of our miseries is because of the hatred that we are carrying in our hearts. We have actually taken offense, and many offenses in our lives. Things have happened to us. And sometimes when things happen to us, we think that things are happening only to us and not to anybody else. And we start blaming those people that things happened to us through them. And we actually hold them with grudges in our hearts. And many times we have seen that because of we are hating a lot. We hate because we're feeling we're justified that people have offended us. So therefore we need to hate them, and therefore we are justified to hate them. And some of you as young men, you are hating your fathers that never been, the fathers that were not present in your life. And you are so full of hate to an extent that you cannot be happy at any given time. But I want to urge you as a young man that if you are going to develop to become happy in your life, you need to clear yourself of hatred. One, find the reason why the people that offended you could have offended you unintentionally. And some of the people that have offended you, basically, they've offended you not being aware that they offended you. Some of them, it was because of circumstances that you may not know and you cannot control. But it is not going to help you to start garnering some grudges inside of you and harboring that hatred in you. Because at the end of the day, what happens is that grudges that you have, that unhappiness that you have, is actually the one that's killing you. It's not killing the person that you are hating, but it's you who is actually boiling inside and not becoming all right. I want to emphasize that the element of forgiveness is very important. And that skill of forgiving people when they've offended you is very, very important, because if you are able to forgive, you are therefore not going to harbor hatred in your life, because most of the hatred spirit that we have is because we have not forgiven the people that has offended us. And I want to emphasize also, remove the mentality of saying, I will forgive people only if they ask for forgiveness. That is delaying to you. And I want to emphasize to you as a young man that forgiveness is not mandatory only to people that come to you to ask for forgiveness. It is your decision to actually forgive someone. Whether they came to you and asked for forgiveness or not, you need to forgive them, because when you harbor that hatred inside of you, you are going to have a problem whereby it is going to cause such an unhappiness in your life. You'll become a miserable soul every day wherever you are. And many of us become very miserable because we have not forgiven the people that have offended us. Therefore, we are harboring hate every day in our lives. And as a young man, I want to urge you today that please, if you want to be happy always in your life, and you want to keep your happiness without disturbed, so please forgive, move on, and make sure that you don't hate and harbor hatred inside your heart. Because when you harbor hatred, as I said, it will actually be destroying you, not the person that you hate. Some of the people that we hate are not even aware that we hate them. Some of the people that we're holding in our hearts, they are not even aware of that. So therefore, you cannot even expect them to come and ask for forgiveness, because they may not even be aware that you're holding them by your heart. They may not even be aware that you're having grudges against them. So please release yourself, forgive easily, and make sure that you move on and you don't harbor hatred inside your heart. Secondly, as a young man, I want to urge you, if you want to be happy, that don't worry. And why I emphasize worry is because worry is a delayer in life. Worry is a time waster in life. And many of us spend more time in worrying. And I want to emphasize that worry, what it does, it actually deranges our minds, it delays us, it makes us to focus on the things that we cannot change. And most of the things that we worry about are probably the things that we surely know that we cannot change. And I must emphasize that majority of the people worry about things of the past that you cannot change at all. And the things that have come and gone, the things that have actually happened already, you're still worried about them. And these things you cannot change. We have seen people that are still worried about having lost their loved ones. And they cannot move on even now. And they keep on remembering and bringing memories of their loved ones in a way that is destroying them. Because then you cannot be happy because you're miserable. And that is why I always advise as a young man that if you are losing a loved one and you taking photos and videos is going to hurt you forever and continue hurting you, rather don't keep those materials, because if they are making you to worry, and that is something that you need to avoid, and make sure that you avoid worrying in your life. And there are those worries that are coming really with the future that we don't even know what's happening. People are looking towards the future. You start worrying about things that you're not even sure whether they will happen to you. There are times when you worry about whether you'll be able to support your family as a young man. You're worried about what if my mother dies? What if my father dies? So you're worried about things that you're not even sure of. What if I lose my job? And all these things are things that are causing worries. And I must really say that worry becomes then part of you in a way that majority of the people even go to an extent of having insomnia. They cannot sleep anymore. And they are actually even sick in the body because of worry in their minds. And I must really say that worry brings about stress. And majority of the people that have gone through stress, they go into a level of depression as well. And when you get to that level of depression, you are actually in a very, very dangerous zone. And majority of the people that go even into depression, they become suicidal and they want to kill themselves. And I want to urge you as a young man that do not worry, because that will destroy your happiness at all times. Remember that if you worry about something that is to come, what if that thing doesn't come? So therefore, it is something that you need to toss around and convince your mind to say, this thing may come, it may not come, but if it comes as well, I will be having capabilities, or God will help me through it to conquer it. Because some of the things that you worry about, God has already catered for it. God has already put up some measures that if something like that happens, God will lead you out of it, of course. God will help you to be able to cope with it. God will be able to give you strength to be able to conquer it. So many times we worry about things that are supposed to be handed over to God. I want to emphasize that if you want to be happy, you must actually avoid worrying in your heart, worrying in your mind as well, because we have seen people that worry a lot, and they've actually contracted even diseases and sicknesses in their lives. Some of them are having heart attacks because of worrying every day. Some of them are having consistent headaches that never stop. Some of them are having high blood pressures that have even caused strokes in their lives. Now, as a young man, I want to urge you that if you want to continuously be happy, so please don't worry. Be happy at all times. And some of the people have actually contracted sicknesses like diabetes mellitus because of worry. Their sugar levels are unstable and they get sick because of the worry every day. So if you want to remain happy, please clear your mind of any worry. Make yourself aware that worry is not going to bring or add even a second of your life anymore. And remember, that's the Bible saying that as well, that worry will not add even a single second in your life. So therefore, don't worry and don't stress yourself into worrying, because that makes you to actually lose yourself, and you cannot concentrate in life anymore when you worry a lot. Now, as a young man, I want you to remember that if you want to be happy, these are the tips. Never hate. 2, never worry, and you will remain happy at all times. I want to end up here today. I hope this has helped you. We will deal with part 2 tomorrow, so please join us as we deal with part 2 tomorrow. And remember also to subscribe to our YouTube channel. So please click our notification button as well. Make sure that you see these videos when they come through. And may the good Lord bless you. Allow me to say cheers for now.